should have audio and video. No, it's still fucked. Hey guys, good morning. Oh, it's this way. This is the problem. Maybe. There we go. Haha. Genius. You know what I don't understand? How is it that these fucking mouth breathing moronic Twitch streamers can set up these just visual productions and I can barely make a camera function? It's the same fucking camera too. I've had it for 2.5 years. And it works like 70% of the time. They all have employees. Hmm. I got my surround sound cranked up. Let me bump that for you. Is that better? How many of your 5 speakers can I blow up before you turn it down? You're putting all your skill points into trading. Well, they're putting it into grifting. I feel like I've become a glass cannon, Tom Tom. Like I'm just overstated the wrong way. The neighbors said it's better. Excellent. How's everyone doing? You guys want to like the stream? Do that more often, please. Glass cannon's amazing. Just beat them before they get to you. The Buffett indicator is total market cap divided by GDP. Is the Grickina indicator market cap of all options divided by GDP? What about just the market cap of the company divided by the delta on its chain? And then just do that across the whole market. If people aren't buying insurance, they're not interested, right? Hmm. That's gonna be my next foray into idiotic indicators. Thanks, Jen Jen. Let me log into my 20 other sock puppet accounts. Perfect. CGC? I don't know. Well, I don't track options data on it, so I'm gonna assume it's probably a piece of shit. Kind of looks like a piece of shit. But it looks like a piece of shit that might be getting ready to bounce. This just looks like vol shorting. Like OPEX. This is literally got OPEX runs. Two so far this year. Kind of a weak one in October. July wasn't too fantastic either. This is like some GME stuff. In agriculture, too. Weird. Oh, this is Canopy. God, I hate weed stocks. Yeah, this is definitely just vol shorting. 100 million share float. I don't know. Is there gonna be bullish news about weed? We did close above weekly VN, although I suspect that our SPXW data is not good for Friday. I think the half day may have fucked something up. Um, we're still looking into it right now, but there's a possibility that we're not getting like proper close data from Friday's close. In which case we may not have closed above VN. I wouldn't rely on it. Like that's a 71 basis point drop in Vega neutral is awfully fucking steep. It might be true. Like it might be that, like like a shitload of short vol piled in on Friday, which I mean I don't think isn't the case. Friday had a pretty strong like bullish push right from market open, but that would be an awful lot of short vol. Like it's pretty rare for VN to drop that hard, even at end of month. So yeah, maybe we are, but I would like to run a like a recalc on that before I say for certain. Right now, I would still just be looking at like Thursdays, which is 660. In which case we didn't, or maybe the aggregate, which also dropped super hard. So maybe that's not a good. Yeah, I think SPX chain data is fucked up. Like the big moves in net gamma or net delta and gamma. And like some of the stuff over on the Greek spy strike looks odd. Like we're not getting proper spreads on the options from the end of day data. What other indicators can we use to understand if an all day push like Friday will keep going intraday? Hmm. So I didn't really trade SPX on Friday. I didn't want to trade the half day. Um, and I figured the best way to do that would be to just not trade at all. Um, but I traded a little bit of like NQ in the early morning, and there was a big like CTA position on NQ at like 2,900. That they kept like pumping NQ as it was falling off overnight in order to try to like net that position out. Also, end of month tends to just kind of do that, right? They're trying to maximize returns into the end of the month, and so a lot of the times at the end of the month, as long as the SPX is in like a fairly stable spot, you'll usually get like a fairly positive day on Fridays. And then also there's the collar roll on Friday as well. But let me think to more directly answer your question. It's tough. Trend days are very hard to trade with options, right? When you have really strong trends like this, and like if we go down to the 1 minute, it's gonna be a little bit easier to explain this. But when you have really strong trends and you're trying to trade intraday options, it becomes increasingly difficult over the course of the day to maintain profitability, right? Even if you go long at open, you're likely to get stopped out almost right away. And then say you go long on the re-entry, you're gonna get stopped out here. You're gonna get stopped out here, and then like the positive returns start to really diminish as theta decays throughout the day. And so a lot of times the best thing to do is when you notice that you're establishing like a low volume positive trend is to simply wait and try to figure out the top and sell calls above it. Or sell puts at an advantageous drop, but usually days like this benefit option sellers far more than option buyers. Um, like you're gonna get blown up on the spreads, and especially when you get up in here. If you try to continue going long, you're gonna get blown up constantly because everyone is selling calls up to the upside, and that's going to slam the bid on the option that you're holding long. And buying puts is really shitty for the same reason. Everyone's selling puts as price moves up. But what I would watch is, there's going to be like a fairly constant decay in volatility, which if you go look at like VX intraday on Friday, we could probably go down to like the 15-minute. Like it's just bleeding all day, right? No, VX might be a bad example because of the half day. Fucking stupid. Maybe VIX is a little better. Yeah, VIX is slightly better. Not much. It looks like they squeezed out some short calls in the early part of the day. Huh. That's kind of interesting. Yeah, usually you get like a fairly like slow bleed out and vol like that, right? Like where it's just constantly going down all day, or like this. This is actually kind of odd. Like it looks like we got like a bunch of spot up vol up in the middle of the day, and then it just like fizzled out, and they shorted it into close. What about tick? I don't like tick personally. You could tick is a little bit more useful on longer term time frames, but you're just kind of looking at like one of several different versions of breadth in that regard. Me too, bro. Pigeon whale, nice on the Sunday stream, no less. Oh wait, hold on, that's not working. I am ascended. You are indeed. Hold on, maybe this will work. There we go. That's the good shit. So yeah, I don't know if I mean, you can use tick, but I don't really like it. Correlation's probably better. Like if you really want to try to track consistency and the dispersion, you probably look at correlation, but the day was so short that nothing really happened in anything. This is one of the reasons I don't like trading half days. Like the volume's generally so low that price is just really erratic more than it is trending in a specific way. Well, you can chat now, apparently. We got a bullish end of month close, so are we bullish for December now? We didn't get a close at the all-time high, I don't think, right? Or did we? Is that the all-time high? Oh, it is. I think it might be. Wait, did we bump that last week? No. Okay. Yeah, so we still closed at a new high. Maybe. I don't know. The fact that it rejected into the end of the day is not a great look. But, yeah, I mean, from a technical perspective, we would expect a bullish continuation into December. Santa rally. I don't know how high Santa's gonna rally, but yeah. That's the 1929 line. We're getting we're getting very close to testing it. Yet somehow still missed. I don't know. Closing off of the high into the end of the week is not a great look, but we closed still above the prior high, which yeah, I mean probably kind of still bullish into the beginning of next week, but we could see the beginning like the end of next week start to fail. Puts at the 1929 line. I mean, I don't know how accurate it is given that it's only been tested twice in the history of the S&P. And one of those tests was when the S&P contained like 40 stocks, so yeah. I mean, but yeah, it's technically bullish continuation. There's a new all-time high here. It came a little short of where I expected it to test, but I guess we still have time to test that level, which I guess would now be there. Right? Yeah, maybe not. Yen has been turbo dropping. Yeah, I saw that. We're starting to price in a few fears around a rate cut or a rate hike from Japan. Yuta came out last week and kind of leaned into their wage data, pushing for another rate cut. The problem being that there's still not like a quorum in the Japanese parliament, and so I mean the Bank of Japan has the power to raise rates regardless of political input, but it would be considered like bad form to do it without mm, some kind of un- no, well, not unanimous, some coalition backing within the parliament. So I think there's enough uncertainty that we're going to see, we're going to see what we're seeing, which is leverage and the carry pull back because there are fears that rates are going to be raised. And if rates are raised, then the spread, the currency spread narrows, and the currency spread has been pushed quite wide at this point over the last like month since the election. And so, I mean, the risk there is huge. And so we're going to see some of that, risk off. And um, I think we're already seeing the first signs of that. Now, if Bank of Japan does nothing, everyone's going to risk right back on again. But we've got a little bit of time before that happens. It should be bearish for the SVX. That's correct. I actually thought Yuta's statements would have been a little bit more damaging into the end of the week, and so like I projected that we would fail like on Thursday into Friday, and we just went up more, which was less fun. But I don't know if you guys can see that. But yeah, I thought we would sell off a little bit harder. The yen did go up, but market didn't sell off enough yet. Some of that may just be like where leverage was and where positioning was, and we'll get more of that sell off in line with the tightening margin conditions, right? Not credit conditions, but margin conditions tightening. Monday, Tuesday. Can you talk a bit about Fubo? We can take a look at it. I don't know what's going on with their lawsuit. I'm long at $1.50, like some synth longs. I still have all my shares. I mean, if there's good news on the case, I would expect the price of the stock to appreciate. I don't know if it's holding higher than usual or if it's just holding far lower than where it deserves to be. We're going on 7 profitable quarters and possibly into an 8th, and the price of the stock hasn't appreciated at all. It's in fact lower than it was a year ago by like 100% or 50%. So, yeah, it should be 100% higher, at least. And frankly, probably should be much higher than that. I mean, they've shown a lot of consistency in subscriber growth and being able to generate incrementally higher and higher revenues, which is not what's priced into the stock. The stock is priced for failure, for bankruptcy. Still, I mean, it just hasn't done anything. But I think that's really bullish, actually. Like the fact that shorts haven't gotten it down to $1 again or under $1 shows that there's still quite a lot of buyers on Fubo sub $1.50. Now, if it could get some market cap appreciation, I mean, the market cap on it doubles, right? At $3, it's $1 billion company. How much longer are we gonna short straddle Fubo? Got me. It's worked so far. I generally just like wait for it to get a breakout and then just sell the in the money options and wait for it to fall again. And then I make like enter a bunch of synth longs. So I'm effectively short straddling, but with a long. Bro, you're not the only one. Yeah, we're all guilty. This happened on SoFi for a really, really long time too. So there were major institutions that have massive ownership in SoFi, and they were just selling so many fucking calls on the stock that the stock's price couldn't actually appreciate. And it's only been recently that some of that positioning actually started to get like assigned and fall off and pull back on SoFi. So I mean, it could be a while. The market's gonna seek profits, and so you're just gonna get a lot of short vol on Fubo no matter what. So it's gonna need something big to just destroy all of that short vol in order for the price to not only appreciate but to stay appreciated. Reddit's still okay for selling vol. I like it. I've been doing pretty well just fucking around and selling some puts and selling some calls on it. The ranges on it are starting to tighten up a little bit as the old chain like falls off, which is making it a little bit better to trade. Right, it's starting to kind of form like a decent trend, which it is beginning to fail as of last week, but much more stable and far better for selling vol against. I think right now, maybe I don't have anything open past the end of the month. Um, but I did have some short puts on it. Where were those? Yeah, it looks like those expired Friday at 140. Um, just tested GN. last week. So could be a decent opportunity to continue selling puts if it manages to hold GN. Delta on the chain's still pretty high. Implied vol's starting to fall off a bit, but realized vol's still super blown out. If it gets back above, actually, yeah, at spot, gamma's still fairly positive. So it looks like it could pretty easily move back up to 50. It could swing down to 35 though. I mean, here I should show you guys moves either way on it. Could be pretty erratic. Ignore spot; it's in the wrong spot. Spots like here. No, it's like here. But yeah, I mean, this can slide up or down pretty easily. So selling like at the money options is probably fine if it just continues to slide either way. And then gamma falls off really hard under 35, which would probably be supportive. There's a lot of sold puts, 35, 37. So I would say, at like 140, it's probably a good opportunity to. Well, look, I mean, somebody's already doing it, right? They're probably selling the puts here, selling the calls here, and then just closing them as price bounces around in that range. Any thoughts on SMCI? Not really. I'm out of most of it. It's not in a great spot. Vol's getting crushed a little bit. Yeah. It's possible that it's just gonna um like consolidate a little. It's run pretty hard. I mean, when we first started talking about it, it was trading at what, like $20. And even with the failure on Friday, it's up, 57, 58% from where it was, and it peaked up like 89, 90%. So I think it's reasonable to expect some profit taking and some consolidation here. There's still bullish interest on the chain to the upside. Um, quite a lot of it. Hold on. Out to like $40. But yeah, I could see it pulling back to, you know 30, maybe even like 24, and then building new support before moving up more. And all of this is going to be, I mean, you have to be very careful with it because all of it's still dependent on them filing their financial statements and staying in the S&P 500, right? If they're incapable of doing that, the stock's price is going to tank. So, I mean, that may not be a risk you want over your head all the time. I thought it was a pretty good bet that they weren't going to get delisted immediately and that they were going to get an extension. And I thought that being bullish for an extension was fine. They've gotten the extension, but now it's like, are they going to meet the deadline? And that's a lot higher risk than the initial position that I took back when it was $20. Every time a bell rings, a pigeon will gets its wings. It's accurate and true. I've been holding SoFi since the days of Uncle Bruce. I'm sorry. I hope you're out from underwater soon. Or at least you average down and the infinite opportunities there were to do that. 2840? Yeah. I mean, there's a little bit of support there. Nearer dated, most of the support's at like 32 out into December OPEX. Jan OPEX, quite a lot of support at 30, some at 32. 34 is a bit of a resistance. But we saw it break 34 already to the upside. And if it does clear 40, it can start to move up. Give me 1 second. All right. One of the parody cards I showed built traction and just sold for 7K. It's the Divorced Dad's the House card. Lol. If you're on eBay, I have no idea what you're talking about. Are you making. Is this part of your foray into building a tiny living room? Or is this a separate hobby? Alright. Separate? Okay. Yeah, let's take a look at the meatball. See if we can dig up anything over here. Riley's got some bullish consolidation. God, I want that to break back above delta neutral so bad. BBWI. That could be kind of interesting. Ooh, Hims? Is Hims dead? Hmm. Still got a little bit more room to the upside. All the deltas in the money already. Vol's starting to fall off. Yeah, I'd much rather sell calls on it at like 35, but if it pushes up again, that one might be pretty good. Let's look at whatever bearish breakout is. Well, that's exactly what it says. It's a yeah. It should not be called breakout. It should be called reversal, and they're backwards. But I think that was confusing when I was relaying it. But I'll try to get those relabeled so that they're more accurate. We might have to change some things like programmatically to get that in place. Is Hims gonna rocket after Christmas? I don't know. It kind of looks like it's topping out. I might sell some calls on it. Dell looks pretty bullish. Tested DM, bounced. Yeah, that looks kind of good. I wish it would just take me to the Greeks by strike page and select the ticker instead of. Maybe that would be a better way of doing it. Yeah, if Dell breaks 130, that looks pretty good. It'd be hard to break 130. But that kind of looks like it's coming back. Docu? Docu doesn't look great. Failed GM. Might be kind of close to support, though. Support at like 77. GitLab looks like it's kind of. These all look like pretty decent to sell vol on. Yeah, that one not so much. CRM looks like it might be starting to catch a bid again. GN's pushing down. Ooh, GME. GME looks bearish. Yeah. Back to 20. Rough. I mean, a lot of the options have fallen off that were supportive to the downside. So, I mean, you guys saw this like a week ago. I said it was like topping out earlier this week. I sold calls on it. I don't know what else you want from me. Does O'Reilly get sponsored by the Oh Really Owl? I don't know. That's an excellent question, though. Unclothed salamander sandwich. Do we talk about ACHR? Probably not. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's just another thing ripping. That's like another one of the UAV stocks, right? The problem I have with all of these, like, oh my god, Trump's gonna be president things, and like Musk hates the military and wants to turn it all into bots, is A, I don't think Musk's power over the electorate is gonna stay for very long. Like, there's probably going to be a clash between him and Trump at some point, at which point he will be removed. Um, that's more speculative. The other thing is, none of these companies actually fucking make money. So yeah, you could bet on them and hope that something happens where they get government contracts and actually start making money, but they haven't. So it's just pure speculation on companies with negative cash flows. Did GME FTDs this week matter much in terms of selling calls? I mean, there's a few left. I don't know how much of a positive impact they'll have on price. Like it's I've said this before a bunch, but for GME, if indexes are up, right, and it has ETF FTDs, you get GME up, right? And we got a bit of that this week. We got some pump into breadth. We got, you know, mid caps moving largely. But if both of these statements aren't true, right? If you have, you know, like false true, it's like GME flat. If you have false, GME down, right? So they can add a little bit of they can add a little bit of pressure to what is already positive correlation with the indexes. But like, so you might outperform, but it's not like you're gonna beat the index while it has ETF FTDs solely because of the ETF FTDs. If that makes sense. I mean, you could just, it's not that hard to just take like GME and here, just do like some correlation analysis on let's see. Let's do like let's do SPY. Actually, you know, it's probably closer to like RSP. And this will probably help you guys see where, you know, periods of high correlation lead to positive. Oh, there we go. See, periods of high correlation leading to positive. Where the fuck is the little thing? Hmm. Huh. Anyway. Like highly correlated index moves, big up GME, right? Up. This is almost all index backed. The recent run, very similar, right? I mean, this is just RSP, like equal weighted SPX. I'm not sure that I'm not sure that that would be better on anything else. Where's volume? The other thing I usually watch is just like positive and negative arbitrage. Like when arbitrage moves positive, it tends to be pretty bullish. People are buying GME in US markets, selling it in foreign. When it moves the other way, bearish, flat, nothing. ACHR was given FAA approval for their drones, though. Okay. I mean, that doesn't mean they're going to get contracts. That's just the minimum qualification in order to try to get contracts. CVVWAP. CVVWAP. Anyway, yeah, I mean, it looks like it's finally petered out. It didn't have a very, very, like, strong pressure anyway. It was just, like, a lot of retail buying weekly options. And as usual, you know, they'll rug pull themselves and short vol will just profit on it. I feel like that story is, you know, as old as the meme stock story. Cohen really fucked arbitrage though. Arbitrage used to be so much better. Prior, like, look at the 2 points at which Cohen just really fucked all the arb on GME and reduced the volatility forever. One was the split, and then the second was DF, like when DFE bought in and he diluted. It's almost like he doesn't want an erratic stock price. All of these drone companies will also need CMMC certification. I doubt most of them will be successful. It's true. Yeah, and they probably won't be. I mean, whoever gets the money will be, right? But that could happen again. That was temporary. What? What was temporary? The reduction and arbitrage due to the split and dilution? Those are permanent things. They're not temporary. Which is why you sold for December OPEX. Let retail short dated calls fall off. Yeah, that's why I got out when I did. And like for all intents and purposes, when I exited, that was like the best time to do it, right? Like locally, I exited at the perfect top. I kept some shares for this earnings, like 10,000, not very much, and then dumped those when the earnings sucked. I didn't know DFE was going to show fucking up and pump the shit out of the stock, or I would have kept the 10K shares I had left. But I did have a reason for selling when I did, because the trajectory of things, had DFE not squeezed out the short call sellers when he did, would have just been continuously lower highs, right? Just like we had for, you know, most of 2023. And, you know, he reintroduced some failures. We should be like past T69 now. Like the pipeline should be fairly cleared out. So I think and we're seeing the short put positioning that was on GME to the downside that was holding 20 fall off. So GME should be more free to fall lower now. Dangerous Dan, thank you so much, man. Welcome to Cornishon. Anyway, enough about GMA. Let's take a look at some of the Mag 7 before I hop in a call with the boys. Or wait, are the boys here? Maybe we'll do the Mag 7 together. They are.
Yeah, it's like for like $75, you can get a decent cherry keys.
$75. That's probably the most I'd ever spend on a keyboard by a factor of 3.
Get a ducky and never look back.
Yeah, I knew Girk would have a strong opinion on this.
Yep.
Let's see how much those cost. They're like for
They're not bad.
Keyboard, it's $100 for a full keyboard though. What is it?
Like 130.
$130?
Yeah. They last forever though. Like it's like you never have to replace it ever again.
Is it wired?
Yeah.
That's all I care about. I hate wireless
keyboards. Yeah, they're wired.
I have a graveyard of wireless keyboards in my office.
It's because like the little Bluetooth dongles burn out.
Yeah, and like for the longest time they weren't replaceable, but I guess they are now.
I have a graveyard of wireless mice that's very similar, but I refuse to use a wired mouse.
Oh yeah, well the wire, because it's the mouse moves around, right? So if your wire isn't like perfectly set up with the tension and strain relief, like it'll just drag somewhere and frustrate you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get you. Mine is it's the Logitech MX Keys S. It's fairly substantial in weight, which is good because like the keyboard doesn't want to like shift around on your desk, but it has like the little depressed, kind of like the chiclet keys, which provides surprisingly low resistance, and it's honestly it's a satisfying feedback on it as well, I must say.
What is
It's not
that?
like
MX Browns?
no, these are just they're like the Microsoft whatevers, like with a little circle in them.
Oh.
So they're not the cherry keys, but then so they're membrane, but they feel pretty good. They've got like a nice like snappiness to them. They're not like squishy like your standard membrane key.
Okay, so they're just
Uh,
like membranes. You know what? Yeah, I've used some of the Logitech like membrane ones that are like imitation mechanical. Like they have like some actuation, and those are pretty cool. But I
yeah, let me
mean,
see.
MX Blues all the way. Just loud,
Yeah,
clicky
yeah.
clacky typing, like an IBM keyboard from the 80s.
I mean, yeah, when you're like, especially when you're gaming, that tactile feedback is huge.
Yeah, yeah.
I won't mind to feel and sound like a typewriter.
Okay, so get a Ducky keyboard, get Cherry MX Blues.
No, get Reds, dude. Ultimate clicky clack.
Reds are yeah. All right.
Or
Yeah.
are the Browns the clacky
No,
clicky
no, no, no.
clackies? They're a lot of
Browns are
resistance.
muted. Browns are like very muted. They don't really
Okay.
make like an actuation noise. They have a feel, but
Okay.
they don't make a noise. They don't click.
Yeah, so yeah, the mechanical keyboard does have the best tactile feedback. But
Are there any ASMR videos I can
Oh,
research for reference
absolutely.
of how they sound?
like keyboard mukbang, yeah, they're out there.
Well, I know what I'm doing when I get home.
Oh, I already got you, JFresh.
Oh, you're playing it now?
No, I'm sending you the link.
Sweet. You got one of your faves? Is it you?
It's not.
Is it you typing in your
You could
bathroom?
just, you know what I could do? I could just stream you the audio of me writing pickles picks. Because that's a lot of
You could
useless
probably
words.
sell that for $5.
So the only problem with the mechanical keyboard is that if you're typing while you're frustrated, your significant other is going to be able to tell that you're frustrated through your typing.
I type like a
Your clicky
maniac
clacks get louder.
I type like a maniac in all sessions.
Ah, there you go. Yeah, I actually, I love my mechanical keyboard, but in terms of like raw typing speed, this Logitech, I mean, I bet I can hit 116 words per minute with it.
Oh shit. Wait,
There's
hold
no
on.
resistance.
Ignore that
Wait,
one.
do
I've got
people
Darude
still?
Sandstorm being played on a mechanical blue keyboard.
Oh God, I can't wait. I'm gonna need to find the whole subculture of people who take videos of them typing famous songs in their bathtub.
There's like R mechanical keyboards on Reddit, which is an entire subreddit dedicated to spending as much money as feasibly possible custom designing your keyboard.
Yes, but are they in a bathtub?
Probably.
We'll see.
I mean, their moms definitely still bathe them, so.
We lost everyone yet?
Get affiliate links and pay for like half a lime? What are you talking about?
What's happening?
I don't know. Oh, do I need to be helping people with their shopping by providing affiliate links? I'm the worst grifter.
So I just got 110 words per minute on this keyboard with no mistake.
Nobody actually measures their words per minute. It's like trying to measure your IQ. Nobody cares.
Yeah, there was no capitalized words.
Dork, this
so
is why you're
capitals
my
don't count.
secretary.
Wait. That's what my title is?
Every time I see like a new oh, this AI broke 130 on the IQ test, it's like does anybody actually care? Isn't the test like rigged or fake anyway?
I don't know. Oh, should we talk? So, beta
Didn't Donald
testers.
Trump pass the test?
He was able to identify the elephant, right? And the other
Yeah.
thing, right? That's a cat,
Son of a.
and which obviously says he's a genius now.
Well,
But yeah, we should. So, are there beta testers in the chat right now? Because we should talk about the Friday data.
Oh,
I think we
okay. Yeah,
figured out what
I
the
did
issue
mention
is.
it a little bit. I said that we were looking into it.
I can provide. Like, should I try to go into a little detail? Because I think we've identified what the issue is. It's just kind
yeah,
of.
I mean, I can explain it in one sentence. It seems like the data provider, I believe it's the CBOE, but I'll have to double check, didn't send us valid bid asks for our options.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what me and Dork were seeing when we were looking too, is that we're not getting valid bid ask spreads.
So basically, all of our calculations are assuming essentially a volatility of 0 in the
Yeah.
absence of a bid ask.
So I asked Dork if we can, as a redundancy, like if bid and ask are 0, if we can simply use the close price.
It was the last. Last is the one that was super reliable, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna check. We're gonna check that, but yeah, it's not the. Yeah, one of them is more reliable than the other. I know the CBOE, their end of day stuff, they do 15 minutes before close.
You know what? I think that there's like 1,000 different market makers out there that are getting this information at the end of every single fucking day without fail. And I think it's not that SIBO or Opera are unreliable. I think it's just the data provider.
I mean, if we just had an Opera feed, we could get that.
And I know
too.
well, the odd one is probably. I mean, we do have inputs, or we should have inputs from Opera and CBOE.
Dork, if you want to go out and get us the commercial sales that validate us being an Opera provider, you go find them, and then when we've booked like 150K in sales for the year, we'll start the licensing process.
I'm telling you, dude. I mean, if we just had the straight pipe right to our butts, we could do all this shit and not have to worry about
that would be
crap.
beautiful, and we could afford it if we had like another 1,000 people sign up.
Not to air all our dirty laundry publicly, but that's great if we never have. That's great if we never have downtime. But if there's no historical data on the Opera feed, you get whatever you're measuring at the time it sends it.
Yeah.
So if you miss something, you can't go back and fill it in, which is why most of these secondary data providers have both Opera and CBOE, because CBOE provides it historically.
We'll just get it all ourselves and drown in.
All right, fine. You convince me.
Anyway,
I'm gonna pull my money out of treasuries, and I'm buying us a data center in New York City. Perfect. Let's go.
If we can do like 10x redundancy on our Opera feed, so we never, ever, ever, ever miss a single quote or trade, then yeah, just go Opera.
If you do that, talk to me. Experience in real-time data systems. All right. I think I missed something you said earlier.
What's that?
Packing, not paying attention to the market. Thoughts on gold and uranium. Trying to decide if I should take profit. I mean, they both still have the potential to move much higher. I mean, uranium probably more so than gold, but gold still has a lot of potential too. I think. I mean, I'm still long both of those quite a bit.
Yeah, that's a fun way of saying the dollar's going to keep getting diluted.
Yeah, well, uranium's got some other stuff going on, but gold, yes. Yeah.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Uranium does have a fairly strong tie to the dollar, too, though.
There's this dude on X, something Hickey or something. I don't remember what his name is, but he's some old dude who seems pretty sharp. I like him because he also thinks AI is a bust. So he strokes my bias, but he's been going on and on about gold miners and how they are having very good quarters and nobody cares.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they have been. I mean, I usually just watch gold, like Barrick. Um, but a lot of the miners have they started ramping up production when gold first when it first started becoming worthwhile for them to ramp up production. But I think I've talked about this before, like when I did like the Barrick gold play. But generally, what happens is like you get a spike in gold prices, right? And then miners will start issuing debt and increasing capex to increase yields, right? And then if gold prices stay elevated, then over time, miners will realize the value of those initial investments. And so they can lag actual gold prices for a really, really long time. And you have to be careful because so many mining companies are just fraudulent. um, yeah, there's really no other way of saying that. That you like you have.
That
It's hard
sounds
to pick.
familiar.
It's hard to pick winners. It's quite hard to
A,
pick winners in the
a
mining
mining
sector.
operation that's fraudulent.
Hmm.
Can't put my finger on where I've.
Like Mara. Imagine if the things you mined didn't even exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds like the perfect company. Why are we not? Why did we decide to provide data to people instead of just
Buy
doing
fraudulent
nothing?
companies.
Well, just
No, we
just
should
get
have
people
just
to
bought a
buy
bunch
our
of.
product.
We should have just bought a bunch of ASICs and started mining BTC. It's literally just freezing.
Yeah, well, mining BTC and issuing shares, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Same
Okay. Well, no, one of those things is real.
thing.
Well, no, you mine the BTC and then you sell it for real
But
money.
wait, wouldn't holding it be better? Wouldn't you mine the BTC, hold the BTC, and then sell stock?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it does sound better.
that does.
God, it's such a fraud. I love it.
Well, but you don't wait, Gert. You don't sell stock though. You sell convertible bonds.
Well,
At
okay, yeah.
0%.
Well, you sell your stock
Well, okay, yeah.
as one
We
of the
personally sell
founders,
our
right?
stock.
You're not going to convert your stock into something worthless like BTC.
Yeah.
You're going to convert your
Uh,
stock into
those
dollars.
those are Satoshis, sir, and those are good as fun.
Are they micro Satoshis?
We are stacking sats.
We
Good sir.
really are. Do you guys notice that NQ failed to hold above 2100 on Friday?
No, I was busy.
No.
I noticed
Did
that everybody's end of month was quite an interesting little last 15 minutes there.
Girk, I know a guy with a legit data center in New York City. His name is Glenn. Oh my god, I love every Glenn I've ever met. Glens are always
Actually,
just
that
great
is true.
guys.
I can add a data point for you. There's a nice old man in Glen in my neighborhood, and he's a delight.
Yeah.
He's like super old. He walked around with a walking cane and his dog.
If
He
you
comes to every HOA meeting. Instructor says he just wants to hang out. He's just a wonderful old man.
if you guys want your child to grow up and be moderately successful and well liked by everyone, name them Glenn.
Not a bad plan.
Yep. What's that? Your mic is so fucking bad. It gets better. Back in the 90s, Glenn started the first cyber cafe. Of course he did. Wait, is anybody still there? Have we all just disconnected?
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay. It's just Jay Fresh.
I'm just hanging out. I'm just trying to. Yeah, I had written down what he was like his mumbles to try to put the rest of the letters in,
Mm-hmm.
and I got nothing.
Did you get that like upward decay in his audio at the end? That sounded like eh.
Well, yeah, I did.
Okay.
But I scribbled out that letter because it was upside down E because I'm doing the International Phonetic Alphabet.
Oh, of course.
But I had to scratch it out because it did sound just like bit depth pressure.
Wait, did we send you the wrong version of Hooked on Phonics?
Yes, you sent me the one for PhDs in linguistics.
Shit. I
It's
knew.
okay.
So I can hear you guys.
This would explain
I
why
don't know if
Popcorn
you can hear
Trader
me.
still can't read. Yeah, we can hear you a little bit.
You're better.
Yeah.
Oh, he's the best now.
Or wait, are you not talking into the roof of your minivan again?
I accidentally said fuck in front of his kids earlier.
Nice.
Yeah, and then
They've never heard. I'm sure they've never heard that before.
I told them that welding is a very respectable profession. To which Ms. Gingerballs agreed.
It is. It is a respectable profession.
See, I'm trying to get J Fresh's kids to become welders
Why?
because
No. So then
Yeah.
he'll adopt you because you have a degree in physics.
right, yeah, so they can never surpass me as
His
Like it-
favorite son.
yeah, the intellectual potential weld, right? I like to be in it.
I understand your deep rooted competition with his sub 14-year-olds.
Well, anybody who is a son of a father, I have a problem with.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about me.
Yeah, you just I think you might have actually just emerged from a New York sewer, like just crawled out of it.
Like a Ninja Turtle?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
More like a Terminator, I guess.
Huh. Like
Yeah.
Terminator 1 Emergence or Terminator 2?
Terminator 1.
Okay. He was hanging brain in that one.
Oh yeah. No, but yeah, that's how I'm at. You were like assembled. You weren't like conceived.
That's not what I've heard. My mom's got some descriptive stories.
Oh, there's nothing better than hear your mom talk about how much of a pain in the ass you were to squeeze out.
Yeah. My mom one-ups that by telling me how awesome it was being made.
God. It was a stormy night in the Bronx. We were cold. We had to cuddle for warmth.
I was conceived in Texas, actually.
All my exes.
Oh.
Yeah. In
You're
a hotel.
Texan,
In a
huh?
hotel.
Okay, was it a hotel or a motel? It's an important distinction.
It was a hotel, I believe. 1 second.
No wonder he's doing well for himself.
He's got to go check.
Right? His mom's sitting there like fact checking him.
He's like, "This is a hotel, I believe. Give me 1 second. I'm going to go check." All right. I think I've got decent signal now for a little while. Hopefully.
Nice. Well, we could talk about my new keyboard and how it's not sticky from beer, but we could also just not.
Oh, you couldn't fix your beer spill?
Well, it was a $5 keyboard, and I was taking my whoosh that I used for cleaning my screens, and I was literally like directing it right at the key that was like sticking and squirting like several squirts of this peroxide solution into the hole and banging on the key with my finger to the point where my fingertips were hurting from banging on it until it loosened up. And that was how I was able to get the key functional again. But as soon as the whoosh dried, it would stick again.
Why didn't you just pop the key off and clean it?
It's a $5 keyboard. There was no way to disassemble it. It was a plastic piece of trash. And
I
so
don't know. I have a crappy Dell keyboard at home. I spilled beer on it. Just pop the keys off and clean the brains.
Well, your crappy Dell keyboard was better than my crappy Lenovo keyboard.
Was it a Play School keyboard?
Pretty much.
My first keyboard?
Pretty much. Like the keys were like the chiclets, but like they were membrane, and it was just a big giant piece of poopy.
Oh, all right.
But that's all done with now. Yeah, this new keyboard's really nice though. It is really satisfying, but it's not the tall keys that everyone knows and loves.
So, Dork, I have to ask you,
So,
are you bearish?
am I bearish?
Yeah.
Shit. That's
Be
a good
honest.
question. I mean, well, let's just think about things, right? What's the S&P forward PE at right now? I haven't looked at that in a while.
Forward,
Tell me
the
everything.
fake made up number, I think it's like 22 or 23.
Yeah, the forward PE as of what are these forward PE estimates? Okay, so Q2 forward PE, or no, Q2 was 29, Q3 29, Q4 estimated 27, Q4 25 estimated 23. Okay, that's insane. Let's see here. Let's see about the actual PE ratio. So it's at 29.79. Average is like what, 19 or 20. So I either have to be extremely bullish on fundamentals or I have to be bearish. So I guess I'll be
Fundamentals.
bearish.
Nobody trades stocks on fundamentals.
What are we talking about?
Well, JFresh asked me if I was bullish or bearish, and I had to check the PE of the S&P 500, and it's at 29. So unless
Nobody cares.
revenues
It's like
rocket,
it's like an IQ test. Nobody cares.
well, nobody cares till they do, JFresh. That's the thing. When it comes time to actually buy the stock again, they want it at a good price.
What's a good price?
PE of 19 or 20,
Based on what?
based on earnings per share.
It's all a Ponzi.
If earnings per share, so if earnings per share of the S&P 500, or sorry, SPY, let's just say, I don't know, if the EPS on SPY was something like, I guess oh my God, I'm just trying to think of the EPS. It would have to be something like,
The current
I'm afraid
earnings
you're
yield
gonna.
on the SPX is 3.24.
yeah,
I'm afraid you're gonna hurt yourself, dude.
I know. I'm trying to think of a number that's really hard to just do napkin math on. So it's 3.24, you said, Girk? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's trash. That's trash.
Yeah, that's garbage.
I mean, the thing is that's purely because the price of the SPX is way too high.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a reasonable price for SPX right now would be like, what, 4,500?
No, lower. Like
What if I told
like an
you
average?
your real price for the SPX was like 2,400?
Well, yeah, but I'm trying to think to myself that I'm ever the optimist. And I see prices where I'm like, you know what? If I'm ever the optimist, this is acceptable to me to start doing stuff. That is right around 4,500, which is what? That's a 30% drop, and that would put us at a PE right around 22 to 20.
So the mean price of the S&P is 17 points, or like PE ratio is 17.17.
Oh, so I should be buying RSP right now?
And the current PE ratio is 38.54.
Oh, you mean like just okay. Okay.
Like the 10-year, like the CAPE adjusted PE.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, JFresh is a little more close to what we should probably be at.
Well, you know
Or-
how I'm estimating that number on the thing that I.
Oh man, there it goes again. Nope, you're
he needs
gone.
to put a Starlink antenna on his van.
Oh, that'd be a great idea. I'll send him one.
Perfect. You can just dock that from
Keep
my
hitting
ownership.
Yeah, of course.
those.
I mean, you guys. The one thing
All
is you
right,
never
I
know.
got 2 bars. What about now?
All right,
Yeah, now we can hear you.
Okay.
Are you hog hunting?
Yeah.
Are you like
So
out in the
small
wild somewhere?
businesses. No, driving back from Chicago. Started driving at 9 last night.
Oh,
He's
so you
got
are
an
in the middle of
Elmer Fudd
nowhere.
outfit.
I'm in the middle of nowhere in Texas.
Hello, J Fresh's children.
He's
Oh,
probably
can you hear
on
him?
his headset right now because he doesn't want. Like I said while he was in the van, I was like, I can't wait to just completely disillusion your kids to their future.
I had a really awesome
Yeah,
engineer
he got
moment this
a
weekend.
solid F-bomb in there.
I did.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I have 3 independent monitor stands for 3 curved monitors. And I can get them all set to the same angle, but to get them flush with each other is impossible. So I've velcroed the edges of the monitors together, and it's perfect. They are now just one seamless giant monitor. I don't even have to
So your
move my
beautiful
head.
engineering moment is basically
Yeah, I don't know what you said, but awesome. Just
yeah. I
pull
couldn't
over and take one of those
notice
corn
talking,
cobs
so I didn't know if
and
you're
just
just
jam it
not
on the
talking.
top of your phone antenna.
Put the phone in your mouth, right? It's like car keys, right? That's how you extend the range of your phone.
Hey, that actually
Sorry, what do
works.
you do with your car keys?
So if
You put your car
your
keys in
key
your
fob
mouth.
is
Putting
like
your car keys
dying,
in your mouth?
you can put the fob in your mouth and hit the button, and it'll like give you greater range on the.
Yeah, your head is a great repeater for low frequency RF.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, same
Interesting.
size monitor.
Yeah, so put the
Yes,
phone in your
pick
mouth.
please. I gotta get rid of all the dorks' butt plugs. I'm gonna have to clean up a bit.
Oh yeah. And the baby oil that you got
Kirk,
from the
how
auction.
annoyed are you? How annoyed are you that I'm finally on team might be in a recession after like 2 years?
I mean, as long as you figured out that the recession started like back at the beginning of 2023, then we're fine.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to have you aboard.
How did you come to that conclusion?
I don't remember.
'Cause I don't remember.
I have notes.
Talking about so much shit.
Yeah.
I feel like we just like rediscover things we've already figured out because there's just so much shit to remember.
It had to do with the labor data at the time. It was also why I thought the SOM rule would trigger in 2023 when it just like barely missed. And then I was like, okay, well, we're gonna get it in like 6 months then, and then we got it. But yeah, I thought the SOM rule was gonna trigger like back in June of 2023, and we came really really close, but it missed. Um, and so, but I think that also had to do with like the pace of issuance. But yeah, it was something to do with labor and GDP. I just don't remember what it was. I know I wrote it down somewhere.
Interesting, because
Like
the thing that made
it's
me
in
start
Pickle's
to
picks from back then at some point.
the thing that made me start to seriously consider it is the small business equity. So householder wealth in small business equity from the FEDZ tables, because I was just digging in more detail, and I looked at that particular one, and it's like dropping like a rock, and has been since the beginning of 2023. And the only other time it's really dropped anywhere near the level that it is right now is in 2008, 2009. Um, And it's interesting because, like, if I'm interpreting what it is correctly, it's hard to find definitions for all this shit, but it seems like it is small businesses owned by households who have equity in it who have to report that equity to the IRS.
All right, so if you go back and look at like Pickle's picks from like June or July of 2023, I did like a whole write up of about like small businesses and um like like the contraction and credit conditions for small businesses.
Yeah, I haven't dug too much into the credit conditions. And I think that might be a difference here. Something that maybe we could game theory out a little bit because I mean, we know in 2009 it was, credit just collapsed, right? But that doesn't seem to be on the brink of happening this time.
Yeah,
At least
I
not
think
so
I was
far.
doing it from the point of view of like credit conditions for small businesses and the need for layoffs in small to mid-sized businesses due to tightening credit conditions. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about the credit conditions, but for sure their equity is declining, right? So they're
Well, if
not
their equity
thriving.
declines, then it's harder for them to get capital.
True.
And
Yeah.
small
But
businesses, more than large businesses with big cash reserves, need fluid credit conditions in order to prevent layoffs. But yeah, I did a couple write ups around that time about like
yeah,
small business, but it was from the labor side. It was like how credit conditions were going to affect small businesses' ability to continue employing people, which I thought was vastly more important than whether the Mag 7 could continue to employ people. Because the number of like
which they're
US
also laying people
employees
off.
that work for small businesses is substantially greater than the number that work for large corporations.
Oh, you know what came out that we kind
Yeah,
of just
and
glossed
at least
over?
for non-publicly, what?
Sluice.
I read the sluice.
Yeah,
Yeah, nothing really changed. Credit conditions still suck, and nobody wants to lend anybody money. They are starting
Yeah,
to demand higher rates from corporations, though. Actually, they were just
yeah.
demanding
I have a
higher rates
question.
across the board. Yeah, what's up?
What fraction of the workforce is realtors?
I could probably
This has been
find
bugging me
out.
for a while, and I just haven't sat down and looked it up because nobody's buying or selling houses. That could be like the easiest, like,
As of Feb
broad brush estimate you can
2024,
make
there were
is look at
1,500 or 1.515 million licensed real estate agents in the U.S.
1.5 million, you said?
Yeah, which is a 2.1% decrease from the prior year. In addition to realtors, there are 3
How many
million
total
active real
people are
estate
in the
licenses.
workforce? How many total people are in the workforce?
Um, 161.5 million.
So just like 1%
Yeah, roughly.
ish,
Yeah,
1 to 2%,
a little less than
include all those
1%.
licenses.
Oh yeah, so then a little more, like closer to 2% then.
Yeah. All right.
It's
Well,
tricky
they're
because
all
there's
out
a
of a
lot of
job,
states
so
where like
that's
you
the
get a law
unemployment rate.
degree and you automatically have your broker's license.
Ah, okay.
I think California is one of those states. So everybody who's a lawyer is also technically a real estate broker.
That is not as many realtors as I thought there would be.
No, but there's a lot. There's like
That's
the industry itself goes deeper than just like brokers and sales agents, right?
There's title
There's like
companies, there's all
agent
kinds of shit.
assistants, and there's like leasing, which doesn't require like a real estate license. So you have like a bunch of people on that side of the business.
You also have the title companies also go and basically put your loan on the market to find an underwriter, and that's a whole building of people.
Yeah.
so. I mean, I don't. Just because housing is basically ground to a halt, that adds like 3% unemployment.
Well, the
Just
thing
because-
is real estate agents, they also work at McDonald's, so not really.
That's not very nice.
Sorry, did I just insult some real estate agents in the chat?
I don't
That's
know.
actually something.
And you
Have
do
real
with
estate
that.
agents. Do you think real estate agents could listen to this shit every weekend and still do their job?
Yeah, I was about to say I don't know the demographics of the pickle jar that much, other than that it's a bunch of.
You think
like,
we're
50-something
being
white dudes.
blasted in an open
They're
house
all
right now?
back-end engineers.
Right, they're all software engineers with way too much money, or people in their 50s with a massive 401k.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And there's Jen.
Yeah, all back ends.
Yeah, there is Jen. And regards, she's cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put three charts in
And
from the
May-
sluice to talk about. Yeah, and
How about the
There's
state of the
J-Fresh.
gig economy? Can't track it.
yeah.
No one reports taxes on it.
Well, no, there's the services inflation. If you want to talk about the gig economy.
We don't talk about it anymore because it doesn't fit the narrative.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we don't talk about services inflation anymore.
We don't talk about sticky inflation either.
Supercore Services X Housing. Supercore Services X Housing is no longer needed to discuss, so it's not.
But it is going up. Did you notice that?
Yeah,
Supercore PCE is it's up. The Fed's gonna start talking about it again because they need an excuse to not cut rates anymore.
Wait, so here I have a chart. Here, hold on.
They're gonna be like, that's
we need
Supercore.
We need music for various things in the stream. Like whenever Dork has a chart, it's like it's Dork's chart.
Well, we're in the wrong fucking Discord for the really awesome soundboard, so all I've got is this.
I'm gonna come.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why we're in this Discord. Let's
I'm not gonna
switch.
switch
Let's
over.
switch to the good soundboard.
We are in the wrong Discord, and I blame Dork.
I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna go to the other one.
I'm 2 days into gooning, and I'm 3 ages down.
Perfect.
All my friends.
All right, I got a chart. I'm just getting it formatted to be a little bit more readable for
You can short
the
my
folks at
balls.
home.
Nice.
All right, and I'm gonna go like this. Yeah, Jesus. All right, motherfucker. All right, the chart's in the goddamn chat.
Wait, JFresh didn't come over here with us. He probably can't switch because he's on his phone.
He's trying so hard. Oh my god. Yeah, so I put a chart in there, and it's a chart.
Is it in
It's
this?
just-
Oh, I
yeah,
see
it's in
it.
this one. Yeah, it's just
It's just
it's
Supercore?
services. This is this is just services.
Oh,
This is just the services inflation chart.
hold on. I'll open it. Boom.
I mean, yeah, we're like, what would you expect to be a reasonable services CPI? I would expect like between 2.5 and 3, closer
Yeah,
to 2.5
yeah.
ideally. Well, let's just say 3. Okay,
Yeah.
a lot of these
So we're at
will
what,
point
like
jump around it.
4.82 right now?
Yeah, so we're just like almost, we're like 40% above where we need to be on services inflation, which if we think about America, what does America run on besides Duncan?
Hold on. I'm gonna go get JFresh in the other room. Wait, JFresh, can you not switch rooms? JFresh? Hmm. This is awkward. He's unresponsive.
Oh, good.
Oh, there he is.
在中国，现在我有冰淇淋，我很喜欢冰淇淋。
This is amazing.
It is incredible.
I didn't even know you guys left.
Yeah, we told you we were gonna go to the other room because it has the good soundboard.
Well, I couldn't hear that because I'm driving in the one over. I was talking to myself for like 2 whole minutes.
Well, I mean, you
That's
do
why I
that
came back to
anyways.
get you, because you hadn't switched back over.
Mm.
So as I was saying, services inflation isn't back down yet, and I seem to remember JPOW saying it was really important, and then he pretended it's not anymore. But I don't know. I'm just an idiot.
It's that damn Phillips curve. Foiled again.
Is that the one that says that inflation expectations follow inflation?
Yeah. But also that inflation and unemployment have a strong correlation.
But only when you have inflation expectations in there as well, right?
No, it just never does.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, it looks like a shotgun blast on a piece of paper.
Yeah. We base all of our monetary policy off of that strong correlation.
It's a strong, yeah. R
Yeah,
squared
remember-
is like 0.1.
Remember when everybody on the internet was like super bearish for like 8 days?
8
7
days? Yeah, in August.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they were.
My favorite was like, oh yeah, I sold all of my long positions at the top. I've been bearish this whole time. Like that's all. Like all of FinTwit was just like, we've been bears forever. What do you mean bullish? And then it immediately reversed. Like once everybody was on the bear trade, we just bounced.
Yeah. We got a couple hot data prints, and then all that just like it never even happened.
Yep.
Actually, if you go back and look through like the
Ladies and
historical posts
we got 'em.
on X, there's just like 8 days that have no posts.
They just deleted them all. Oh man, I need to use all the cool finfluencer tricks. Like just delete my bad, like all my bad analysis. And just pretend it never happened.
Oh yeah.
Instead I'm like moderately honest, and I have to admit to shorting Nvidia before the AI bubble started.
Yeah, you're also too busy with Pickles picks. You just don't really spend a lot of time on X.
Yeah, and you know what it is? I just don't after Reddit, I don't have the energy to just explain shit to that particular group of morons anymore.
Yeah, that's why you troll them.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But I can't do that. Like, you know me. Like, I have to, like, they'll be wrong about something and I have to correct it.
Yeah. You gotta stop doing that. You just make fun of them.
Interesting.
Yeah, just do what all the bots do on JFresh's posts and say things like, but have you considered no?
You need to study Bitcoin.
Those are his actual followers.
Yeah, do more research. You need to do more research, JFresh. That's what you need to do. It's not like you're a professional at research.
I got lotion on my dick right now. I'm just stroking my shit.
I was telling Dork before you came on stream that my favorite posts are the people that follow me and are like, hey, I like most of your stuff, but you sound kind of dumb when you talk about Bitcoin. I'm like, well, yeah, that's one theory. Or
Right. That's so funny.
I liked you a
this is
lot
so
until you
great.
attacked the thing I'm invested in.
You're
That
so
was
smart and so
careful with that. That was the
introspective.
fall of my popularity too. Was attacking Jimmy.
yeah,
I'm not gonna
that's
lie, I
and
went through some internal struggles with that for a bit, but I was like, you're ultimately right. It's reasonable shit.
it it has actually become a lot of fun to like build a following on something at like somewhere where you provide content to somebody where they really agree with it, and they like start to like you and follow you, and then you just happen to pick another thing that they're really into that you just shit on. You just like the emotions that they go through. It's actually kind of a lot of fun.
I think about that a lot.
There's nothing sacred to me. Absolutely nothing. Except for Dork.
Yeah.
Aww. Well, that's just because you haven't phased me out yet, alright?
I mean, we're working on it.
I know. I even helped with that process.
We just
I want to
need
become the product manager as much as you guys.
we just need to fully automate everything.
Oh yeah.
We
Well, it's
need
like we have, like,
maybe we just need Dork GPT.
Mm.
It's not a bad idea. Feed me to the AI.
How am I still out? I'm never going to come out. This drive never ends.
I wonder if futures are gonna open.
No.
What does that mean? Of course they are.
I don't know. It'd be cool one day if they didn't. I think about that a lot. I think about like what if the futures market just didn't open? Like it's scheduled and you expect it to happen. But what if it didn't?
I think people would be very concerned.
I'd be concerned.
FinTwit would be up in arms.
You
Their
know, it's
fingers
going
would
to
get tired
open.
from
It's going to
posting.
open up 18.18%. At 6 p.m. EST. It's going to be up 0.18%.
0.18.
Yeah.
We're gonna gap up.
Sure, why not?
What are we bullish on? Just
Nothing.
life.
Yes.
Yes.
It's just the matter.
We're bullish on yes.
Exactly.
Stunts go up, and then they're not going to go up anymore.
What do we got coming this week? I'm gonna go look.
I don't know. I think probably the only thing that really matters from here until year end is
Oh, we have
the
jolts.
Who gives a shit?
Fed decision. Yeah, nobody cares about any of this data.
Labor's kind of important for the bull case.
But Jolts though, whenever Jolts does anything that's like at all interesting, it's just like we actually didn't care about Jolts.
Or we revised it back to the prior level.
Yeah, exactly.
I actually hate Jolt's data, but the market loves it. The market views companies posting ads on Indeed as the most bullish thing they can. Not actually hiring or employing people, just posting offerings for potential jobs.
Okay, we actually have NFP on Friday too, so that'll be interesting.
Yeah, we have NFP, we have ISM services, which is important, and Powell's speaking immediately after it, so it can't be good data.
Well, we also have 5-year inflation expectations, which, as we know, is the most important thing.
Oh, for Michigan? No one cares what the people think. It's just what the bond market thinks. And right now, the bond market's afraid of the carry trade collapsing again.
Well, I mean, yeah.
So we're like borderline almost inverted, but people are buying the long end right now.
How much longer are morons going to be piling into IW?
I don't know who's buying active, like, except primes that have to. I don't understand why anyone else in the world would buy US debt at less than like 7%.
I don't either. But people are.
Yeah, but
You're just doing
is it just primes and central banks? I think it's just
I think
primes
it-
and central
No,
banks.
it's retards. It's got to be. I mean, most of the debt's held by us. I mean, you've got like all the banks and everybody are saying like, well, I'll give you a loan, but it's going to have to be about at least 7%. And then you got retards that just love buying U.S. Treasuries and are like, I'll
Here's
give you a loan for
here's
4.
my question. You're an average American retard, right?
Yes.
And you have a 6.5% mortgage on your house.
No.
What do you mean no?
2.875.
Maybe this is why they're retarded. So 2.8. Well, that's your loan. No, I'm
I
talking
thought
about people
we were
buying
talking
houses
about
right
me.
now. No, not actually you.
Oh,
I wouldn't have called
I
you
thought
a
you were-
retard.
I was playing along.
Okay, so you have a 6.5% loan on your home, 30 years, fixed rate.
Okay.
Okay. Why does the 30-year at 4.5% interest you? Why are you long bond funds in your fucking 401k when the 30 years only at 4.5%, but your mortgage is 6.5%?
Well, you can't pay your mortgage with your 401k.
You can pay for a bit of it.
That's a poopy pants question.
Why are people... I don't understand why people are doing this. I get it if you have like a low rate, right? You bought pre-2020 and you're at like 3%, roughly. That makes more sense, but that's still shitty. Like, I mean...
I think it's just blind diversification.
We need
People
the
have-
US debt to be subprime.
People have portfolio allocations that they want to have.
Yeah, and they'll just allocate them that way no matter what, because there's an army of moronic financial advisors running around the country telling people that they need to be 40% in bonds.
Yeah, I mean, when I got my job as a professor, after a year, I started vesting some of it, and so I went, and we have the ability to like not do the Texas pension. We can do like a 401k as a special, but we have to do it through like, a variety of financial advisors who all offer their own like shitty products, like or
Of course.
wherever. And
Have they tried to sell you annuities yet?
No, but like the ETFs they offer are just like criminally terrible.
You don't want some 2% annuities?
No.
Oh.
But anyway, when I first went in there with the person and they were like, all right, let's get your portfolio set up. We should diversify it. We should put a little bit of this and that and that. And I'm like a 27-year-old at the time, 28. And I was like, no, put it all into high risk US.
Yeah.
And they were like, you don't want to, that's really risky. I was like, do it.
I mean,
do it.
anytime that you tell them to do something they don't recommend, you're likely to make a higher yield because their yield is so bad. Like their entire everything they're trained to do and all of their computer models are just designed to net like 2% a year. And that's all they need, and then they can skim off any extra with fees, right? But if they return 2% a year to you, they're gods. And so they just aim for the like most common denominator. And
yeah, it's just like you should have some bonds, you should have some large caps.
Yeah, you could literally just throw darts at the wall.
You should have some emerging markets, and then just like just build your portfolio, man. And I think that's how most people's portfolios are. And so you have some fraction of the aggregate U.S. household portfolio is devoted to bonds.
It's depressing.
It's just kind of, but that's why I have that one graph that looks at, what's the rate at which we're creating new bonds versus how much the bonds paying in aggregate.
Yeah.
which I think is going to be a big driver moving forward because people have to actively decide that they want a larger allocation in their portfolio of bonds because currently, we're adding 1.8 trillion, roughly $2 trillion of debt every year, and the bonds are only paying out closer to one. So it's sucking money in, which,
I wonder how much, if I could just get 8% on the 30-year, I would stuff all my money into it.
Yeah, that'd be great. But that would also probably mean the stock market. I don't know. How would you get to 8? That would be hard because so many people.
So many people are willing to buy a 4.5.
Well, something would have to happen to the full faith and credit of the U.S. that would really rock people's thoughts on their ability to repay to even get to 8, right? Because people are buying it at such low rates already. I mean, look at Poopy Pants. He starts frothing at the mouth whenever TLT gets under like 92.
Yeah, I know he does.
And he's won every single time.
I don't think he's ever won.
Oh, yeah. Well,
yeah.
Every time he starts frothing, it goes back up. So he's like the perfect barometer for the average bond buyer.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Poopy is a huge inflation bear, so it makes sense. He's a big dollar bull.
Moronic investor here for duty.
I think Poopy is my daddy at this point. I don't know. I forget what our bet was.
I don't remember. It was something like TLT to 100 or 85.
Was it 100 or what? Like, what was it? I forget.
I don't remember. I don't remember what you guys were betting on. It's at 94 right now. All of which has been in like the last 2 days.
Yeah, people are saying it had something to do with Bessent or whoever for Treasury Secretary, which I don't know how the Treasury Secretary is going to control rates.
He's not.
Sentiment. That's how all the rates are controlled.
Yellen's already doing YCC with the pedal to the metal.
Yeah, although, the IWM thesis is just about as stupid, and that's been working out just great.
What? Oh, that IWM will go up?
Yeah.
Interesting. Is it really working out, though?
Oh, well, rates are coming down, so we're all going to buy IWM because that's good for small caps if rates go down, and everybody just piled in. And it's working out great.
IWM looks like it's double topping.
Yeah, we'll see. Everything goes up forever.
It was awesome. I longed IWM at the bottom of this.
Of course you did. Here, you should put that on Twitter. You should.
But I really did. It was a Pickles pick.
Yeah, but you should put it on Twitter.
Oh, like post the Pickles pick to Twitter?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Just the ones that really pay off.
Like just big bragging?
Yeah.
Huh. I love bragging. It's the most valid thing to do when you're right.
Well, yeah.
This is interesting. I'm going to have to think about this.
Wait, but yields are going down right now, aren't they? A little bit.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
But that's because everyone's spooked by the carry trade. Because Utah's like, we're going to cut rates. Look at our wages. They're awesome.
Well, Donald Trump's going to cut wages or cut rates, isn't he? He's going to cut rates because he can do that.
Yeah, but the U.S. cutting, or Utah's going to raise rates. The U.S. cutting rates isn't bearish for rates.
Is it time for me to bust out that meme I made a while ago?
About
Yeah,
about cutting rates and like the Fed changing monetary policy and rates keep going up?
No. It's a very simple meme. Let me see if I can find it really quick.
yeah. The Fed cutting rates means the market goes up. The rates go up. That's what it means because people are seeking more yields because they're funneling tons of money into bonds
There we
and
go.
they're tired of buying.
This meme. I think it still applies, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Well, it's backwards now because the yield curve's uninverted.
Is it? I think it's still inverted, isn't it?
No, we're well, Friday we were uninverted.
thought
it's like back and forth.
Yeah, it's been doing a little whoopsie daisies.
Yeah, it's positive 1.7% spread.
I mean, I'm just looking at the yield curve on US Treasury yieldcurve.com, and it still looks pretty inverted.
Are you looking at the 10-2 or one that doesn't matter?
I'm looking at the entire curve.
Ew.
Website.
What was that?
Remember when we found that one website that looked like that GSC's website?
Oh my
That
god,
had, like,
yeah,
rating
the
flags and
stock
stuff?
market religion website.
Was that yieldcurve.com? Yeah, it was yieldcurve.com.
The greatest
Yeah, which looks
website
like
ever made.
It looks like a Temple OS like application. Yeah, this is the yield curve I was looking
Oh
at.
yeah, this is the one. This is the best. I fucking love this. It's up to date too. That's the best part about it.
And you know that some like trader at like $1 billion.
It's probably like the
fund is
first
using this.
website that Kenny created.
Look, they do gilt over treasury too.
Yeah, there's some like $1 billion fund out there that's using this data from this website.
Oh my god, they've got like a little replay that they do for you go look at like each year. Look at that.
Oh wow.
That's fucking dope. This is better than CME.
I'm gonna come. Cause there is no cock like horse cock. Send your asshole in.
This is the most professional financial stream.
I mean, it really is.
Yeah, straight to the point,
So wait, Gert,
professional.
look at this chart I put in the chat.
What is it?
Post mean. Does that look uninverted?
No.
That's right. It's still inverted.
But it's the 10 and 2 aren't.
Who gives a shit?
Everyone. That's the only thing people care about.
Well, like you're missing.
But you think people are like, oh man, the 32. No one's looking at that shit.
I feel personally attacked.
Yeah, I know. I know you do. No one's looking at the
like-
10-year 3-month either. And that one's actually important.
I mean, yeah, overnight liquidity shit is supremely important in a world where markets go up because we short vol.
I'm gonna need you to
But-
stop piping that Trump clip into my headset, please. All right, Jen. All right. Anyway, what were we talking about?
I'm gonna come. I'm gonna come.
Dork, stop it.
Sorry, Jen. I had to troll you for a sec. There we go. I don't know. The fucking market's just doing weird end of year shit.
The great analysis.
my line
Thanks,
is
Dork.
still-
That was Dork from our fixed income desk. Chiming in with
Yeah,
his
this
end
is
of
a
year
set of
analysis. Hey,
Yeah,
so
well, we're not
in
the end of the year
I
yet.
still
you know
just
what's
have a
actually
line
some
to
important
59
market
every year.
news? Tom Lee has gotten his CFA, so now he's a certified financial advisor.
Well,
I don't know what he was
congratulations, Tom.
What the
before.
hell was he before?
I don't know, but now that he is a CFA, he said that the SPX is going to 15,000, Bitcoin is going to 250,000.
I mean, eventually, what are his timelines?
He doesn't really do that.
Markets go up. That's
Yeah.
what he came up with out
Yeah.
of his fancy new degree.
Mm-hmm.
Get
A
him his
CFA,
Mensa
hold on,
membership.
a CFA is a certification. It is not a degree.
Yeah, sorry.
Let's be very clear about what CFA is and isn't.
Is it more or less work to take a driver's ed course?
The same.
The same. Okay,
Yeah.
that's a good gauge. Yeah.
I don't know. I guess you need to understand options pricing and portfolio allocation to get a CFA.
Yeah, a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just a portfolio.
Turn signal
But wait,
50 feet
Gert.
before the turn.
Girk, how am I going to know how many SPX puts to buy and what strike and given my beta value without a CFA to help me?
Fuck you.
Sorry, I just said the hardest question on the CFA exam. My bad. Besides the regulatory shit.
Yeah, I think they do have one beta question. Or they used to. They might not anymore.
The answer is you, the person taking the test.
All of those
Right.
exams are pretty simple. Maybe like the 65 is kind of like you might, I don't know. Somebody
I
might
don't know.
need to
Didn't at one
study for
point
that.
you said that we have to take these tests? I'm not taking these tests.
You don't have to, but some people do.
Gross. Make Carl do it.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely make Carl take them.
And then make Dan do it just for fun.
I'm not gonna pay for Dan to take them.
I want to watch it. I want to watch him take it.
Yeah, can you
I'll
live
pay
stream
for it.
taking the test?
You want
See
to
between
administer
him
the
and me.
test?
He has to answer all of the multiple choice questions on his feet.
I think if we pursue things that far, me and you can just not take any of the exams and then plead ignorance when we blow up all our clients' money.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I like it.
yeah. We'll just be like, that was
Wait,
Carl's
so-
fault. I don't know what
So
happened.
anybody who has a certification in our company is instantly the patsy?
What? No. Ray Dalio gets his CFA updated every year, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, Ray. He's quite the little essay writer on X lately.
He's retired. He sold at the bottom in 2023, so you know what else is he gonna do?
That's very true.
Or I'm sorry, 2020. He sold at the bottom of 2022. It was even worse.
Nice.
Yeah. He was like, I'm out. I'm going to sell everything. This market's fucked. And I was like, time to go long. The pimento's almost dead.
The pimento.
Uh,
What's better, a guy with 50 years of experience in equity markets or a colorful circle?
It was the colorful circle.
yeah.
The colorful circle preempted like a instantaneous 20% turnaround in the SPX. That was
I
good
miss the
money
pimento
too.
days.
I fucking
Why
nailed the
can't
bottom
long
of
ball be
that.
fun again?
I don't know. They just want to take it away from us and sell it.
Yeah, long ball sucks.
When do you think?
That's
when
only
do you-
long vol on indexes. You can long vol equities all day.
That's
I
true.
went
Yeah,
long
true.
vol on Microsoft a couple weeks ago. Paid out big.
What do you think Apple's going to stop going up?
I don't even know why it's at the price it's at.
I don't think anybody does.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, I think when people approach the market, they're like, oh, what do I buy? and then they're on their Apple device, and they're like, you know what? This is so obvious.
Yeah, you know what?
When you pull up
Apple
Robinhood
did
on your iPhone, what else are you gonna get?
Apple did an update over this past week, and it sucks. I hate it.
I don't have
Even
an
more
Apple
than I already
phone.
hated it.
I do
I
know
don't
I
know
need
why
to
anybody
replace my phone, and I don't know what to get.
I will say I used the new Siri one time and it worked, which I
It
was
did.
surprised by.
Did it take longer because AI?
No, and it actually, I asked it to find a podcast with a certain person in it, and I'm pretty sure he's only done like a handful. And it went to Spotify and found exactly the one I wanted right away.
You
See,
didn't
I
buy
would
the
use
Pixel?
Sirius
No,
XM.
not yet. But I'm thinking about that's the one that's at the top of my list. I don't know if I want the XL or the Fold.
Have they figured out all the issues with folding phones yet?
Who cares? I'm rich. I'm only leasing it, right?
Yeah, true. If you're gonna just if you're fine with dropping it once it like creases.
I mean, you know what it is? I just don't use my phone for anything. Like, I use Discord on my PC, which is where I am all day. So, like, if it can run Tinder and Uber Eats, I'm golden.
I mean, in that case, why not just like get the cheapest phone possible? Oh wait, you're rich. I forgot.
Mm-hmm.
But what? Okay, I'm
Status.
I forgot.
God.
I can't. I literally can't think like a rich person.
You think
at
I can
all
go to
on, like, what I
luncheons
would
with
do.
what's that phone they give to elderly people with the big buttons?
A jitterbug?
Yeah.
Life alert.
Alert phone. No, Dork had it right. It's the jitterbug.
I almost got a jitterbug keyboard because it was cheap and it had the mechanical switches.
I miss going to economic luncheons. Can we start like saving money for that so I can feel important?
What is an economic luncheon? What does
You
one do
just
there
give someone
eat lunch?
$5,000 to go listen to someone say the things you want to hear.
Huh.
Well, we can do that for free if we go to an MLM pitch in whatever hotel.
What makes you think that an economic luncheon is any different? What makes you think the stock market's not an MLM?
Well, it is, but we don't have to pay money to go listen to someone pitch it. They'll buy us lunch.
That's true. They stream them for free. I wonder what
Yeah.
JPow's talking at this week.
I don't know.
He's talking somewhere. He's doing a talk on Wednesday at 1:45.
It's probably like it's like an elementary school, bring my dad to work thing, where like they have the cafeteria set up for all the kids to sit down, and he explains to them how inflation works.
Oh, son, when a man loves a woman.
Yes, they produce a child.
Well, remember he did that at that one college, and the market went wild, even though he said nothing about the market.
Yeah, well, that's what happens. It's algorithm.
And you remember those meetings in 2022 when like every time they opened their mouths, the market would just swing like plus or minus 2%. Those are the days.
Good times.
Hold
We've
on.
gotten so complacent. Now it just does a little like 30 bips up, 30 bips down, and just kind of.
You mean 30 bips down, then 30 bips up?
Yeah, one or the other. Ugh, I think my dog just farted.
Nice.
She's the only one leaving her. Right, she's fluffable.
Did we talk about Nvidia earnings? We did.
I think so. What else is there to say?
I don't know. I in the Discord chat, I pretty much described it pretty succinctly.
Suck.
A bunch of sucking noises on the phone, and it was
Yeah.
Jensen on himself.
Oh, Jensen
he
loves
was-
sucking himself off.
But he didn't do a great job. I mean, I think the questioners are not satisfied with the answers. And I'm really enjoying more and more people are going on like Alibaba and AliExpress and all these other Chinese auction websites and just searching for H100s and finding massive supplies of them.
Let's see. I'm gonna go onto Amazon. Let's see what's on eBay. What can I
Yeah.
get? 32.
And then, like,
ooh,
And then
20
nobody can actually use the Blackwells because they're too hot.
Oh, I found an H100 for 18.8. That's pretty cheap.
There you go. Yeah, you can go on like so there's a big secondary market because all these people that locked in these lucrative contracts with CoreWeave and now are just like, well, our product sucks and we still have to pay this, so we might as well try to resell the compute. So there's a whole secondary compute market and they're selling it basically at or below cost at this. So we've definitely hit glut. It's just a matter of like when does Elon Musk and Microsoft and Google stop buying these fucking chips?
When do their stock prices go down after they've spent all the money on these chips?
I don't know. I really do think that they're just all in. They're gonna try to force the shit down our throats, and if it goes bust, they're gonna try to pretend like nothing happened, right? I mean, it's all buried in their cloud business line item on their earnings reports.
Yeah.
So they could try to just hide it inside of the massive growth of cloud. I'm more interested in when is this growth in cloud gonna have a backlash because it's no longer cheap. It's not even remotely cheaper to do it in the cloud. It's now like much more expensive than hosting your own.
Nvidia's starting to look a little bullish.
Yeah, Nvidia was turning around. I mean, they all kind of were looking bullish, right?
You know what? Tesla looks bad.
Well, Tesla went up like 150% since the election.
Yeah, Tesla does not look great right now. If it slips like 40, I think things are gonna get pretty.
Is the
awful.
PE still over 100 for a car company that just defrauds its customers?
Oh, what, like the price to earnings? It's like 91x.
That's reasonable.
Yeah.
That's where I like to buy my companies.
Yeah. Speaking of, can't wait till OpenAI gets public. I'll buy some of that.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for OpenAI calls.
I actually would love to see the options chain on that. We haven't really talked about the IBIT options chain. We don't have a ton of data on it yet, but it's pretty sizable. The delta on it's around 2 billion, which isn't huge, but it's not nothing. It's like a couple days worth of volume.
Yeah, it's a thing. Do you think that's going to be the primary?
It's pretty bullish, and a lot of it fell off after. Like a lot of the calls were bought. They inspired reversals. So it looks like the market makers have it under control. And since most people are just buying it through the ETFs instead of like actually on the blockchain, it seems like TradFi has this shit on lock.
Did you guys get a chance to sell any volatility on GME?
No, Girk, you forget I'm poor.
Oh, that's right. Ooh, Ulta looks bullish as fuck.
Yeah, didn't Nuke make a bunch of money on Ulta and Elf?
I don't know. I made money on Ulta the last time it dropped, but this one's looking even more aggressive.
I don't know. I'd like to hear some more on the scanner we made because it seems like he's hitting a lot of phosphorus on there. Who else is saying it? I think Forno. I think he said he hit one or two.
I mean, it's been doing pretty good. I've been playing around with it a bit. MSTR doesn't look great.
MSTR?
Yeah.
I mean, Here's the question: Is
GME
I mean,
showed
this is
up on our indicator.
did it?
Yep.
What does it say?
Bearish reversal. Which, oh, by the way, we need to change the names on these. They're wrong.
No, they're not.
They are.
You're wrong.
The bullish breakout and bearish breakout are backwards.
No, you're backwards.
Oh no.
I reject that.
Okay.
We'll fight later.
Can we at least call it breakdown?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Breakout, like bearish breakout, is just nonsensical.
It's all angles, man. Just the angles. Just the angle of the deck.
How is a quant poor if they have access to Gamma Strike and know all the secret plays? Because they do stupid shit too.
Because he has a real job and he's spending all his time trying to build Gamma Strike. I
Yeah.
haven't had much
Yeah.
time to do
Dork
that
just
either.
spends
It's
all
like
his time trying to make sure that I don't complain to him about the data that night.
Yeah, we're busy building it. This isn't our first job. It's like our second job that we're doing for free.
Ooh, is root going back to 75?
We're still on the root play.
Dude, root's a hot ticket. Ooh, if root loses 100, it might go to 70. Oh, I like that.
All in on root weeklies.
What a gap fill.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. You know the float of root is 8 million shares?
What?
Yeah.
How is that even possible?
I wish we had what the total delta on the chain is.
We should.
Do we?
Why wouldn't we?
I mean, just go to the Greeks page.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So the total delta is 116.29 million.
So it's about a tenth of its market cap.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
usually and that's like it's like Nvidia.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's insane.
But how many individual contracts are open on it? Like, is there enough delta on root to actually hedge the options? Are there enough
I don't know.
shares to hedge the delta?
Actually, do we have FTDs on root? That's another question.
Oh, I do, but not on the public side.
Like 25 minutes. No. My 5
You're
minutes
saying stuff.
crying and saying, "Dad, I can't move my butt either, dude."
There hasn't been a
Sucks.
huge spike in FTDs, but we also haven't updated the FTDs on it since October 15th.
Nice.
So I have no idea. There was some massive spikes and failures back in like May of last year. But I think that's when it reverse split. No, that was after the reverse split. Reverse split was on August 15 of 2022. They reverse split 1 to 18.
You know what? Root actually, I think, is a solid contender for an FTD play.
Oh yeah, I mean, if we'd fucking update the FTDs on it.
Here's the real question: is it going bankrupt?
No. So you know all the money Carvana loses selling every car they sell?
Yeah.
Root gets a bunch of that money. So Root is a tradable representation of Carvana's losses.
Nice.
It's
All right.
inverse Carvana's losses.
A fan of that.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, we need to talk about getting that FTD shit all wired back up. It's just in a weird.
Yeah, I know. Well, the SEC changed how do they access them. So Carl has a fix, but we have to implement it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I need to bother Carl about giving me that. I put Carl.
In the
on the
meantime,
Carl
I took the
feed.
FTD page. Like, I had Nuke take the FTD page down because it's not where I want it as a product.
Yeah, me too.
And yeah, and there's like, I think it's really useful and valuable once we get it where we want it. But I think until then, it needs some work. And I think right now, the way we're presenting the FTD data is not valuable at all.
I mean, there's a little bit of value in it.
It's negligible.
Primarily-
I mean, just being
primarily
able
for
to
the
look
data,
at
it's for the-
FTDs,
yeah.
yeah, has some value, but like we're not showing like the T35 or the T69 or any of that. And we should implement all of that, and then, you know, like fail to volume ratios and stuff like that, so we can actually see what's going on with the FTDs, not just like, hey, here's some FTDs in a stock chart, you know.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
So, but it's like a whole nother big tool, like the Greeks by Strike tool, and that's a lot of work.
We need like 10 more people, but I don't want to give them any equity.
10 more people, but no equity. So you mean we need employees?
We pay them an exposure, Girk.
Nobody does that anymore.
So like we hire them and be like, we've bought 100 root calls in your name.
Yeah.
And if they pay out, that's what you're getting paid.
We pay them in root calls per hour, right?
Interesting.
RCPH.
Exactly. Not gonna lie, I kind of want to get paid like that too.
What do you see in the Greeks page that makes you think it can go up or down? Flat gamma until it hits a gamma wall. I don't know which stock he's talking about because I just looked at so many of them. But
might be talking about root.
Because it looks like the 100 is sold, like sold calls. I mean, that's an interpretation based on the falling implied volatility over like the 10 and 30 day, but like the accumulation of volume at the 100 strike has led to a drop in implied volatility, which usually means options are being sold really heavily there. And if options are being sold really heavily at the 100, then the market makers need to hedge delta in its current price range is going to diminish, and the next support to the downside is 70. So a drop to 70, that would be the, like, I mean, kind of what I'm looking at there.
It looks like Nuke's down to be paid in root calls as well.
Oh, Nuke wants to get paid in root calls? Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, I want his equity.
His equity.
What do you want?
Well, I mean, what else is there to discuss? Yields went down a bit.
I mean, maybe Nuke's got the right idea. Like, root calls could actually pay money, but the equity just pays nothing.
Yeah.
All right, let's do the swap.
Let's do it. Thanks for the bips, Nuke.
You guys want to talk more about how my 5-year-old can't move his butt?
Is his butt numb?
You guys hear him? Can you guys hear him screaming?
No. Did he? I kind of heard some child noises.
He's in the car screaming about how he can't move his butt.
No, I just assumed you had a parrot.
No.
Oh.
I mean, he has
But I am
kids.
like 20 minutes away from home. So
Does
we probably
positive
have to wrap
net
this
gamma
shit up.
show sold options? They are naive assumptions. So when you look at the gamma charts, I guess we could get into this a little bit, since everyone in here is practically a pigeon whale at this point. When you're looking at the gamma charts, oh god, Torque.
What?
This is killing me. Did we fix this yet?
Let's go to another day.
I'm going to a different stock.
There's
Yeah,
all
go
the
to something
stocks. Is it all the stocks or is it just SPX?
It's just
just
it's just
SPX.
fucking SPX.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I know.
Why does it always have to be the most important thing?
So when you're looking at this, we are making the naive assumption about, and that is that all the calls are bought and all the puts are sold. So that's what you're seeing here. When you're looking at the net gamma, the assumption's already being made. So you trying to make another assumption on top of that assumption is just compounding the issue you're trying to solve. So no, this does tell you that all calls are bought and all puts are sold. But it's not telling you that certain calls are bought or certain puts are sold.
Wait, that should be backwards. Right?
Backwards. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, all puts are bought and all calls are sold.
Yeah.
And then we show the exposure of the market maker.
We don't flip it under gamma neutral, right?
No, we don't make any assumptions about which strikes are bought and which ones are sold.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, just remember for gamma, sold is always positive.
All
Always-
puts bought, all calls sold. Sorry. Poopy.
Yeah, so the calls are sold, so positive gamma. Puts are bought, same negative things.
Yeah.
They were all bought, they'd all be negative. They were all sold, they'd all be positive.
Wait, what's the value GS provides if the assumption is all calls bought and all puts sold? All puts sold, all calls bought.
Now,
Huh?
all puts bought, all calls sold.
Yeah, the assumption is that options are used to hedge your portfolio.
Yeah. So we're tracking positioning. Now you can go deeper than that, and you can try to figure out which options are being sold and which options are being. But like if you look at the SPX, all the options are sold. There's fucking no bot options. Like usually there's like nothing bought anywhere on the chain for the most part.
All the weeklies are sold.
Yeah.
Some of the monthlies can be bought in size.
Well, they're all part of like spreads too, so there's a little bit of a weirdness with that.
Yeah, but you notice Kirk also mentioned looking at volatility, so you can kind of get a sense of relatively how bought or sold something is based on how high the volatility is.
Yeah. So if you have you have gamma max, right, on a stock, and the stock is peaking above gamma max, and then you go look at like IV30, and IV30 is just tanking. Most likely, the volume coming in around spot is sold options. And if those are calls, those are probably sold calls. Right, so you're seeing sold calls accumulate, which is pushing the price down and back below gamma max. So that's one of the reasons gamma max is such a reliable indicator, is because it creates a scenario in the options market where the selling of calls is extremely advantageous. And that's why stocks don't generally stay above GM for very long.
You can also go to the Greeks page, and there is a skew adjusted indicator for delta and gamma that tries to give you some relative idea of how bought calls are.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
you can look at that as well. So that looks at the volatility skew and tries to provide at least some relative idea of how bullish things are on the chain.
Skew adjusted gamma is a little weird, and it's like
it is weird. It should. So the 0 point I don't think is super interesting by itself or super significant, because it is a little arbitrary.
I think the 0 point's really important for
relative basis.
total gamma or gamma exposure.
Yeah, for naive gamma, that's just because everybody else is looking at that and trading themselves from
Yeah.
that. So that can be very important for trading.
But yeah, I mean, like,
Yeah.
here on Costco is a good example. You know, if you look at the historic price action and you look at skew adjusted delta, right? Skew adjusted delta starts to fall negative back here in like mid September. We see that the stock trends down alongside that decline in skew adjusted delta. And then skew adjusted delta starts to pick up rapidly, stock gets real bullish, and then, you know, stays bullish as skew adjusted delta continues to stay positive.
Yep.
And it's not now.
So
That's not
they're
really a leading indicator, but it like the ebb and flow of it can be, right. Like you see delta picking up really strongly here over this 4-day window, and moving rapidly towards positive, and then you know that breaks out, right, and you get that breakout into positive delta, and it jams right into gamma max. So we're offering like multiple ways to look at that same data in different contexts. But you have to remember that you're looking at that a lot of that data from the market maker's perspective, not from a participant's perspective. Maybe we should just add a participant mode where we just flip all the assumptions.
I feel like that would just be confusing to people.
Yeah, I kind of agree, but maybe it wouldn't be. Because it's so hard for people to wrap their head around the inverse assumption.
Yeah, I can't imagine how implementing that would be not super confusing. Too many negatives. Don't negate a negative. Confuses people.
Fair. Carvana just offered me $400 for my 2014 Chevy Traverse. I'm buying puts now. Let's check for poopy pants how Carvana looks.
Hold on, I need to do my weekly Zillow check on my home.
You don't have a Raspberry Pi and a little LED that just like blinks it every day in your living room?
Actually, Carvana just looks really, really well supported above 250. And IV's kind of low. So maybe getting ready for another leg up. Doesn't have a lot of room to the upside. $12. I wish spot was actually where it was supposed to be. Yeah, Carvana might be fun to sell calls on, just because it doesn't have like a lot of room to the upside. Like spot's 260. Gamma max is what, 261. There's not like huge swings in delta that are going to push it above GM right now. And there's no earnings coming up, so it might drift down a little over time. Or just stay flat, right? Like, this is the scenario you want for call selling. Not a lot of room to the upside, and likely flat. Like, if you were long Carvana, this is like a time where you would be interested in selling covered calls, because covered call makes the assumption that the price will be flat or down. But flat is better, because as a covered call seller, you're still a bull.
How about SoFi? Is it just going to continue to go up until it's like $600 a share?
No. It's doing well, but it's probably topping out around here.
That's what I thought last week, and then it went to $16.50.
SoFi. Yeah, SoFi's getting close to its top. Vol's starting to come down too. Not that it picked up very much, surprisingly. Fairly stable move up. I guess there's room up to 20, but it'll probably just get crushed by call sellers. There's no delta to the upside. There's not very much OI either.
Nice.
So I would say it's probably gonna pull back. Or at least flatten out up here. Right. I guess it doesn't have to pull back, but it could flatten out. Looked at snow. Ooh, we could look at snow.
Do they sell cocaine?
They don't.
All right, guys, look at snow, and then we got to wrap this up. I've been on the road for 18 hours.
I don't know if you're bullish on snow, but I'm not sure I would be. Kind of looks like it's topping out, getting some, yeah, Vol's getting crushed really hard on it. Did they just have earnings?
I think they did.
It looks like they
Crowd's
had
got
earnings.
earnings. Doesn't what's it called? Crowd have earnings this week?
Yeah, snow looks kind of done. What the fuck was I buying snow at 172 for? When the hell was that? I have like a trade up here, but I don't remember what it was from.
I
Oh,
bought it in 21.
it was back here, I think. I don't know, one of these. I was like buying a breakout above the.
Yeah.
I don't remember when it was. It might have been like September or something last year. Maybe it was this one.
The fact that you have positions you don't know about also tells me how rich you are.
It just goes back like 2 years. I don't remember when snow was a pickles pick. But I have like risk like right where the stack is now, so I'm guessing there was something. Maybe I think it was this breakout like back in November of 2023.
All right, I gotta
right.
peel off.
What's your projection? Give me your projection.
5,900 end of year.
End of year?
Yeah.
You son of a bitch. Okay, so you want me to just do a fraction of that for this week?
Just draw a line from wherever it is now to 5,900 at the end of the year.
Okay.
I love you too.
Just track it every time.
All right, I've got JFresh's projection locked in for the rest of the year.
All right. See you guys at Futures Open.
Yep.
Yes. Oh, it's time for my prediction then, isn't it?
I won.
We don't like to. Who cares? Whatever. Oh, you're not showing the You're not showing the chart.
Hold on. I know.
Are you trying to make sure you're moving your line around to make it extra obvious that you won by putting
No.
exactly where the closing price is?
No, my line's in the same spot. I did not win gracefully. I just won because you guys were bearish as fuck. And I was like,
I had a good reason. I was out of town.
I was like not bearish.
Yeah, I blew it. Okay. My prediction. Well, let's think. Where the fuck is my... There it is. Okay. So flat until Wednesday. And then close Wednesday at 6,100.
Flat until Wednesday morning?
Yeah, and then 6,100 until Thursday. And then close Friday at 6,000.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so 6,100 and then close Friday at
6,000.
6,000. Wait, hold on. Wait, let's zoom in on this. Way the fuck off. So Thursday morning, 6,100. 6,000 on Friday.
Yep.
This is the most asinine
Analysis.
analysis I've ever seen.
There's a reason for it.
I kind of like it because you expect NFP to cause big dumps.
Yeah, but first we got to have ISM come in and everyone's like, oh my God, economy saved. And then everything goes haywire.
I think the labor data is just not going to be that great. So maybe like this and then just bleed into end of week. Yeah. Just like that. Wow, my prediction looks lame. I'll just aim like a little lower than you.
Thank you. Yeah, we got to have some spread it because I'm actually I just realized I'm exactly where JFresh's line is. Okay, put me at 60-10. So I can be above JFresh.
Yeah, smart.
Yeah,
There you go.
perfect. All right, hold on. I always forget I got to screenshot this for the dot plot. There we go.
No, you know what? Might as well get the collar test. I'll throw the collar test on mine. Retake the screenshot.
Ah, you son of a bitch. All right. Are you happy with this one, Girk?
Yeah, it was good.
Okay. There we go. Get these pores their fix on these completely arbitrary price predictions.
Literally just drawing lines.
Yes.
I mean, I do try to think about positioning and stuff. It's not completely arbitrary, but I mean, the problem is that data changes. And I might have a very drastic, like I might have a different opinion on this tonight, right? Provided we get our SPX data fixed. Otherwise, I'm gonna have no opinions tonight.
Fuck. I don't know. I can. We've been pushing out so many fucking fixes that it's like I'm just flying by the seat of my pants right now, trying to just do a bunch
Catch
of
up
shit
to
that,
them.
well, yeah, that may end up not even being necessary, and it's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just like sitting here with a giant fucking pile of commits and PRs that I have to finish too that have to do with these things, and it's just fucking gross. I hate it. I hate it, Gerg, and I blame you.
I know. But we have to have the perfect product.
That's true, but I mean, I'm just a material girl in a material world.
I know. Well, we'll get you materials once we can give the product to people, which is unfortunately after it's perfected. I know.
Why you gonna make things so difficult? All right, well,
Snow is a pickles pick in July 2023. Ooh. Hold on. Oh, okay. So that's what I was playing. I was playing this. Neat. I like that. I guess I made money. Cool. Should I play it again? GS is never going to be released. That's not true. It will be. We just...
Well, Poopy, you're not allowed to use it.
Yeah, you're just jealous.
We have to figure out when Poopy signs up and make sure he does not get to use it.
Interesting. I thought we were just reserving that kind of spite for Cobra.
Well, yeah, there's the Cobra exclusion principle, and then there's also the Poopy exclusion principle. Poopy only gets.
I thought Poopy's account would just not have TLT data.
Ah, there we go. Well, no TLT and no SPX. And he gets a $1 discount.
My wife wants a safe index ETF. How could I hoodwink her into degenning? Why don't you not hoodwink her into degenning? Let her pick the safe index ETF, and then see if you can outperform her.
Yeah, have her buy a RSP, and see if you can outperform RSP.
Imagine being short TLT at 90. I wasn't. I can't. I was short TLT before 90. Sir? How? How what? There's no chance I do that. You've known me for 3 years. I know, Greg. I'm just hoping that you'll preserve some of your family's wealth.
Well, I mean, what he's doing is he's just educating his kids worse and worse to make sure that that college fund never gets tapped.
You missed a golden opportunity to sell PFIX? No, I didn't. JPA's not going to raise rates. Why would I sell my PFIX?
I don't know. Poopy's getting all fired up.
Yes. Dork's still waiting on a currency spiral. The dollar's just going to keep going up.
Till it goes down.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like I'm not going to reposition that kind of stuff for fucking Japanese. Like, I'm already long yen, so why do I need to change anything?
I don't know.
PFIX is not a safe investment, and you know it. Do you still have XRP? No.
Oh, there's always Jeppy.
I hate you. This stream's over. Thanks for coming on, Dork.
Yeah, thanks for having me, bud.
Later, man. Guys, if you have any questions that you actually need to ask me and not how to degen your wife's money, feel free to hit me up on the Discord. I'll be around the rest of the day. No, I was saying for Greg. Oh, maybe we just let Greg's wife do with her money what she wants. Anyway. Dorcas full port QILD. I'll be around the rest of the day if you guys have any questions. Pickles Picks will be out tonight. If we don't have the data on SPX fixed by then, though, I might just cover like some equities and leave out the SPX analysis for later. We'll see. I'll do the technical stuff and shit, but I may not have 0 DT analysis for SPX. I have the live data that we could work off of, though. Yeah. Maybe I could just use the live data as a redundancy again. It's annoying, though, because we're near Vega neutrals, and I don't know where they are. Alright. I'll catch you guys later. Have a good night, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Peace.